everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I am going to be doing a weapon guide as well as a best class setup for the MX9 submachine gun here in Black Ops 4 after update 1.16. So that's the thing, guys, if you actually did not know, yesterday at the time you making this video, Black Ops 4 update 1.16 released, and in that update, there was actually an overall buff to all the submachine guns in the game. Treyarch said that in this particular Call of Duty game, submachine guns are a little bit underpowered, so what they did is they collectively buffed all of the submachine guns, which is really interesting in my opinion. So that's what what I'm going to be doing for this video is actually a best class setup for the MX9 submachine gun. Honestly, the MX9 is one of my favorite submachine guns in the game. It's very consistent, as well as, interestingly enough, even though it is a submachine gun, you can very effectively take out enemies at medium range with this weapon, and if you actually tap fire the weapon, you can actually take out enemies surprisingly at longer ranges, as long as you make sure to tap fire the weapon as well as keep your recoil down. Also, guys, to know about the gameplay, it is actually a TDM game here on Slums, and I ended up going 47-2. Honestly, really awesome game in my opinion. And of course, I was using the MX9, however, I was using my Mark II variation of the MX9 that was originally called the MX9 Patriot. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the nuclear. I ended up dying on about 21 or 22, so if I played it a little bit more passively, I might have been able to get the nuclear. However, the time was ticking down, as well as there weren't that many kills left in the game, so I started to play a little bit more aggressively, and of course, I ended up dying. However, it's not too big of a deal. I am very happy that I was able to get the Relentless medal. And yeah, guys, also let's see if we can hit 10 likes on this video. That would be absolutely amazing. And yeah, now that I got the intro out of the way, let's actually dive right into the video. So that's the thing, guys, if you are new to my best class setup videos as well as my weapon guides and you don't know what I am going to be covering, what I am going to be doing for this video, and that's the first part of the video, I am going to be discussing the MX9, then I am going to be showcasing a creator class that I designed for the video, then finally I am going to be talking about some things that you want to know about this creator class before you go ahead and use it, and then finally I am actually going to be doing a live commentary of me using this weapon. So of course, the first thing that I am going to be talking about, that's going to be discussing the MX9. So the MX9 submachine gun is actually the first submachine gun that you unlock in the game, being that you actually unlock it at level 1, so that means as soon as you unlock creator class at level 6, you can go ahead and start using this particular weapon. The MX9 has a high fire rate, moderate damage, as well as pretty decent recoil. Of course, it is a submachine gun, which in turn means that it's not going to have the best recoil, comparing it to assault rifles like machine guns or tactical rifles. However, comparing it to other submachine guns like the SOG as well as the Spitfire, this weapon actually has pretty decent recoil. It does end up shaking a little bit, however, once you start getting more familiar with the weapon, you will notice that the recoil is actually quite manageable. As stated a little bit earlier, the MX9 performs the best at close range. However, you can actually take out enemies somewhat effectively at medium range, and if you tap fire the weapon as well as you make sure to control your recoil, you can somewhat effectively take out enemies at longer ranges. However, when you are going to be using this weapon, try to stick to those close range engagements, because with the MX9 at close range, you can absolutely melt opponents. So yeah, guys, now I am going to be moving over to the creator class I have for this video, and of course, guys, as you can see, the creator class is going to be on your screen right now. So as you can see, this is the creator class, and of course, we are going to be using the MX9 Mark II, and that's just because I prefer using the MX9 Mark II over just the standard MX9, and that's just because you actually get more XP per kill when you are going to be using the MX9 Mark II, as well as I prefer the iron sights. However, if you don't have the Mark II, that's not too big of a deal. You can always go ahead and use the standard MX9. It really makes no difference if you are going to be using the standard version of the weapon or the variation. And of course, as you can see, I am going to be using diamond camo. Moving over to the attachment portion of this creator class, our first attachment is going to be hybrid mags, and that's just because hybrid mags are very useful on submachine guns, especially the MX9, and that's just because, of course, you want to be able to reload as quickly as you possibly can, especially since you are going to be using a submachine gun. As well, since you are going to be using hybrid mags, it means that you are going to be getting a little bit of extra ammunition per magazine, so that's how come our first attachment is going to be hybrid mags. Moving over to our second attachment, and that's going to be long barrel, just so that way it's going to be a little bit easier, as well as it's going to make this weapon more effective at those medium to longer ranges. And then moving over to our third attachment, we are going to be using stock, just so that way we can maneuver as well as sidestep a little bit faster as well as easier. And of course, rounding out our attachment portion of this video, the final attachment is going to be rapid fire, and that's just because I find that the rate of fire on this particular weapon is a little bit slow from my experience. So if you put on rapid fire, it's going to be increasing the rate of fire, therefore decreasing the time to kill when you are going to be using this weapon. And generally speaking, if you put on rapid fire, it's just going to make this weapon even better, and that's just because, of course, it's going to be bumping up that rate of fire. Moving over to our gear, we are going to be using stim shot, and then for the perk setup, our first perk is going to be scavenger, and that's just just because you do not want to run out of ammunition, especially with a submachine gun, since you are going to be spraying a lot more. It means that you are going to be expending a lot more ammunition, and from my experience, you can only usually get 5 or 6 kills before you are going to be running out of ammunition. So if you have scavenger, it means that you can pick up more ammo, which is really useful. And then of course for our final perk, we are going to be using ghost, and that's just because we want to be able to stay off the radar when the enemies are going to be calling in a UAV. So yeah guys, that's going to be it for the creator class as well as the weapon guide portion of this video. Now I am going to be moving over to a live commentary of me using this particular class setup in Black Ops 4. So yeah guys, enjoy the live commentary. Alright, so hello everyone and welcome to the live commentary portion of this video. So of course guys, as you can see, this is a creator class that we are going to be using. And you know what, just for the start of the game, I'm actually going to be using the Mastercraft camo for the weapon. If you guys haven't already seen it, this is what it looks like at the start of the game. Then once you get 5 kills as well as 10 kills, honestly, it's a really cool Mastercraft camo, so that's how come I am going to be using it. So yeah guys, now that I got the intro out of the way, I will see you when I join up into my first game. Alright guys, so as you can see, we are going to be joining up into our first game, and this time we are just going to be playing a game of standard TDM here on Summit. And of course, as you can see, this is the Mastercraft camo for the MX9. And wait a second.
Good night.
Okay, there's a person camping in the corner, but we took him out. And there's another person. Okay, we're actually doing pretty well over here. Of course, we joined in a little bit late into this particular game. However, it's not too big of a deal. It's not like we were losing by like 30 or 40 points. Alright, so we ended up dying. However, we had a pretty awesome start of the game. And wait a second.
Tag.
Okay, there's a person camping on the stairs. Okay. And looks like they're all over here.
Enemy outright.
There's another one, okay. Now that's one of the reasons why I really do like this particular weapon, and that is, unlike other submachine guns in the game, it's actually very consistent, as well as you can actually take out enemies quite effectively at assault rifle ranges, because as you can see over here, there are of course some enemies, and wait a second, that person has the purifier. Okay, I'm just gonna get right out of there. But you can see there's actually a person down over here. Now if I were up here and if I were to shoot the person with the MX9, I could very easily get the kill. However, if I had something like the SOG 9mm or the Spitfire, I wouldn't really be able to do that because the damage on the weapon really starts to fall off. And wait a second. Okay, that person was camping in the corner for like 2 minutes now, ever since the beginning of the game.
Shoot. Outright kill.
Okay, that's a nice double kill. Wait a second. Okay, I was really thinking that I was able to take out that last person. However, he was using the Titan, which made sense because I was pushing it a little bit, trying to take out enemy at that range with this weapon. There's another person. Alright, took out that person, and he was actually using the flashlight operator mod for the SG-12. Oh my goodness. Alright guys, so that's going to be our first game, and I'm going 20-8. Not really the greatest KD, however I joined in pretty late into this particular game. So yeah guys, that's of course going to be our first game. Now we'll see you guys in game number 2. Alright guys, so as you can see, we are going to be joining up into our second game, and this time we are going to be playing a game of standard TDM here on Summit. And of course guys, as you can see, I decided to go ahead and switch it up a little bit and actually equip diamond camo instead of the Mastercraft camo for the MX9. And yeah guys, if you would like to, feel free to comment down below what are your thoughts on Black Ops 4 update 1.16, and honestly, in my own opinion, I actually do like update 1.16. Of course, it did end up adding new content into the game, as well as it actually changed around the game a little bit, as well as it added in a brand new zombies map if you actually have the Black Ops pass. Okay, there we go, that's a double kill. As well as something that's very cool, and that is it added in a bunch of brand new Mark II variations of weapons. Out of all of them, I think they look really cool, especially the brand new Mark II variation of the Cordite, as well as the new Mark II variation of the Rampart 17. So yeah guys, that's where I'm going to be ending off this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like on it down below, as well as make sure to subscribe with post notifications turned on so that way you guys will not miss a new upload from me. Again guys, this was the creator class I used for this video, so yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one.